What's up, guys? This is going to be sort of a bonus video for this week. I've had a viewer asking about doing radiator flushes, so I thought I would throw this together to give you some basics on the types of flushes that people do, why and when, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're going to use this car just for visuals right now, but basically when it comes to radiator flushing, you have a lot of different people who will say different things and different ways they'll go about doing it. When you go to a shop, what they generally are going to want to do is a machine flush. Now what a machine flush is essentially they have a machine that's going to intercept this upper radiator hose. So you would unhook one side, and then the machine has two hoses. One goes to here, one goes to the other side. And what it does is it intercepts the coolant on its way out of the engine. And instead of it going through the radiator, it goes out into a machine. And then in the meantime, it's actually flushing it with new fluid that's going into the radiator. And usually what they'll do is they'll put a cleaner in first, run that for a few minutes, then they'll run the flush machine. Now that works okay. It is more expensive. It is a little bit of overkill a lot of times when what you're trying to do is just maintenance. So it really depends on your situation. If you have really bad coolant that has left a lot of residue in there and you really want to make sure you get it completely cleaned out, that's a pretty good option. But if you are just trying to maintain coolant the way it is, then you don't necessarily need to go that route. So an easy option for doing a radiator flush is just to drain and fill. When you drain a cooling system, unlike the transmission, you'll actually get the majority of the coolant out. There'll be some stuck in the block, but usually you're going to get the majority of it. So what you do is somewhere down near the bottom of the radiator on every car, but Grand Prix I could show you exactly, but any car really, somewhere near the bottom there's going to be a little drain chock that you unscrew and the coolant will pour out. You catch that in a bucket. When it's completely drained, which you'll need to, by the way, take the cap off to drain it, because otherwise there's going to create some suction and it's not going to drain well. Once you've drained it completely out, just refill it with fresh coolant. If you do that periodically, you're going to keep your coolant in good shape, so you're not going to need to worry about it. If you already have pretty, or maybe let's say slightly nasty coolant, and you want to do a little more of a cleaning, there are cleaners and flushes that you can buy that you just pour into the coolant, run it for a couple minutes, and then do that same drain and fill. Or you can take it somewhere and have it radiator flushed if you want to. What I do personally on my cars is, for one, I repair them so often it almost doesn't matter, because I'm usually losing coolant when I'm taking things apart. But the other thing is, what I will typically do with mine is drain and fill it every so often. This keeps it clean, and then you never have anything that you need to go back and take care of. So I generally will sort of go more to the side of preventative maintenance than trying to come back behind it and repair it. Now another kind of middle of the road tactic you can use with these is to open the drain chock or take the lower radiator hose off so that you've got the coolant pouring out, and then take a water hose and back flush through the system while you're doing that. That way it's continuing to push water in, and then just watch for the water coming out to be completely clear and free of any kind of contaminant. And then once everything's good, let it drain, then refill it. But these are pretty easy things to do, and if it saves you some money over doing the machine flush route, it might be worth doing that way instead. But by all means, if you'd rather just have someone else do it, you can take it to pretty much any shop and have them machine flush it, and within 30 minutes be done and on your way. So hopefully that was some decent information you guys can use. If it was useful, hit the like button, drop me a comment with any other questions you might have on this subject, and make sure you're subscribed. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.